The restaurant was buzzing with chatter, clinking glasses, and the steady sound of orders being called. Among the staff rushing from table to table was Sofia, a young waitress who had been working long shifts just to help her sick mother. Her tired smile masked the weight she carried on her shoulders, but tonight would be unlike any other night of her life. At one of the tables, surrounded by security and managers fussing over him, sat a man whose presence commanded attention, a billionaire named Richard Hale. He was the kind of man people whispered about, a self-made tycoon whose empire stretched across industries. Sofia had never served anyone so wealthy before, but fate placed her in front of him that night. When she set down his glass of water, her eyes caught something glistening under the restaurant lights. A ring. Not just any ring, but one with an unusual design. A gold band carved with a unique pattern of vines and leaves, and in the center, a small emerald that shimmered softly. Her heart skipped a beat. Without thinking, she whispered, "Hi sir, my mother has a ring just like yours." Richard's head snapped up. His usual stern expression shifted into surprise, then into something unreadable. Sofia instantly regretted speaking. What if he thought she was being intrusive? What if she got fired? But Richard didn't get angry. Instead, he leaned forward, his deep voice calm but serious. "Your mother has a ring like this? Are you sure?" Sofia nodded nervously. "Yes, sir. She always told me it was special. But I never knew why. She said it came from a man she once loved, long before she met my father." The billionaire's hand trembled slightly. "Do you know how rare this ring is?" She shook her head. Richard fell silent, staring at the emerald as if lost in memories. Finally, he asked, "What's your mother's name?" Sofia answered softly, "Elena. Elena Marquez." The name hit Richard like a storm. His fork clattered onto the table. He whispered, almost to himself, "Elena." The next evening, after her shift, Sofia returned home to their small apartment. Her mother, frail and coughing, was lying on the couch. Sofia hesitated before telling her what happened. But when she finally did, her mother froze. "Elena," Sofia said, "the billionaire I served last night, he had a ring like yours. He asked about you. He knew your name." Elena's eyes filled with tears. Her voice cracked. "Sofia, that man. Richard Hale, he is the man I once loved. The man who gave me this ring before life tore us apart." Sofia was stunned. "You knew him? Mother, why didn't you ever tell me?" Elena looked away, memories flooding back. She explained how decades ago, she and Richard were young and in love, but his family disapproved. He was sent abroad to study, and she was left behind. Letters they wrote never reached each other. By the time Richard returned, Elena had already been forced into another marriage by her struggling family. She kept the ring. Days later, Richard himself came to their modest home. For a billionaire who lived in mansions, stepping into a cramped apartment felt surreal. Yet when he saw Elena lying there, his guarded heart broke. "Elena," he whispered, kneeling by her side. Tears streamed down Elena's cheeks. "Richard, after all these years." Sofia stood back, her chest tight with emotion. She realized she was witnessing something greater than chance, it was destiny. Richard took Elena's hand gently. "I searched for you, Elena. 4 years. But they told me you had moved on, that you were happy. I never stopped wearing this ring, hoping I'd find you one day." Elena held up her hand, revealing the twin ring she had kept hidden all these years. 2 rings. 2 hearts. 2 lives separated, now standing face to face after decades. But this was not the end of their challenges. Elena was sick, her health failing. The doctors had said her condition needed expensive treatment Sofia could never afford on her waitress salary. Richard, seeing Elena's frailty, immediately offered help. "I'll make sure she gets the best care in the world," he promised. Sofia, though grateful, hesitated. Why now? After all these years? What if this is too late? Richard looked into her eyes, filled with sincerity. Because love is never too late. I failed Elena once. I won't fail her again. And Sofia, if you are her daughter, then you are my family too. Richard arranged for Elena's treatment in one of the best hospitals. He visited every day, sitting by her side, holding her hand like the young man he once was. Sofia saw a different side of him, not the billionaire with power, but the man with a wounded heart, trying to heal old scars. Slowly, Elena's health began to improve. The doctors were hopeful. For the first time in years, Sofia saw her mother smile without pain. One evening, as the three of them sat together, Elena whispered, "Richard, thank you for giving me more time with my daughter." Richard shook his head. "It's not just time. It's a second chance. And if you'll let me, I want to be here, with both of you. Not as a billionaire, but as the man who still loves you." Elena's tears fell, but they were no longer tears of sorrow, they were tears of healing. Months passed, and Elena grew stronger. Richard became a constant presence in Sofia's life. He didn't try to replace the father she lost, but instead became a mentor, a guide, and eventually, something more, family. Sofia learned that wealth doesn't lie in money or mansions, but in the love, kindness, and second chances life sometimes gives us when we least expect it. And so, what began with a simple comment from a waitress, "Hi sir, my mother has a ring just like yours," became the key that unlocked a love story frozen in time. It became proof that life always finds a way to bring hearts back together, even when years and distance try to keep them apart.